Hi, this is Tim with smallscalerc.com, and I've got an unboxing video for you all. This is the Dromida Rally Car FPV. This vehicle was announced earlier this year, and I've really gotten into FPV and surface RC vehicles. I really had my first taste of FPV with the RC hobby earlier this summer, where I outfitted my Axial RR10 bomber with an FPV camera and using some goggles. Um, I I fell in love with FPV from that moment on, and since then I've outfitted my Axial Yeti Junior with the same setup and just enjoy driving that around the backyard, driving it through the house, just having a good time. So Dromida has an FPV ready vehicle uh, as well, and what's cool about this is everything you need to get going is in the box. So you get the car, the camera, the monitor, the goggles, everything. Uh, a true ready to run, ready to experience package. And that really is something that I think is cool to see. Give you a shot of the box as we keep talking about it. I think it's really cool. I think, keeping the barrier of entry as low as possible for FPV and for the RC hobby is very important. And this vehicle and what Dromida is doing with this vehicle, I think is quite amazing. So, folks at Hobbico sent this my way. We're going to take a closer look at it, and thankfully there's not a lot of tape on the box, so we can just flip it open and take a peek inside. It's a 1/18 scale vehicle, so small scale. Looks to be very close in shape and body design to the LaTrax Rally car. I had one up until earlier this year. I got rid of it. Now I've got this. Kind of wish I had kept it now, but size, shape, very reminiscent of that vehicle. It comes with a 2.4 gigahertz pistol grip transmitter, which I'm very familiar with. Earlier this year, I reviewed Dromida's BL brushless monster truck, which, as far as I'm concerned, is pound for pound one of the best bang for your buck spends that you could, or purchases that you could make in the RC hobby. It's incredibly fast, even though it's a 1/18 scale vehicle. The fact that it's brushless powered and just and stop right there. It's a blast to drive. It's incredibly quick. It handles great. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this rally car. Now I believe this rally car is brush powered, so it will not be as fast as the BL monster truck, but that's fine. I think you need a bit of control, and perhaps going too fast too soon with FPV would maybe lessen the experience. And it does include these FPV goggles, and there is an FPV monitor inside of there, I'm guessing. So that's what you get when you open the package. Oh, there's more. Here is the monitor. No, I'm not quite sure what that is. We'll find out what that is. Battery charger. It uses a USB powered battery charger for the nickel metal battery, which again I'm familiar with from the BL monster truck, and the Yeti Junior also uses the same type of battery. So let's get this thing snipped free and released and get a closer look at the car, closer look at the remote, and a closer look at these goggles and monitor. Okay, so we've got everything freed from the packaging. Again, your FPV goggle headset, your Dromida rally car with built-in FPV camera, and your monitor. Now the monitor was included, or was situated inside of the headset, and we just open the flap, which is held on by magnets or secured by magnets, and it came out. There's a little port hole here for your antenna, which is included in the bag, which we have off to the side. And then you have your channel buttons, menu settings, and other controls on the monitor. And I believe what that plastic piece was that I wasn't sure at first what it was. The more I look at it, I think it's just another mount. So if you don't want to use the goggles, you can mount this to a tripod or mount it to something and still get the FPV experience and see what your vehicle is seeing without that full immersion of using the headset. Now, I will say, having used a headset before, not this specific model, but having used an FPV headset before, I will say that it is quite the experience, and you can get lost in that experience rather quickly. All right, now let's take a closer look at the rally car itself. Now, this looks just like the brushed or brushless model that you'd get, with the exception of this cutout and the front windshield area of the body and the FPV camera. So we take the body off, and really there's nothing here that I wouldn't expect to see, with the exception of this camera. You don't see that on the non-FPV models. Just flipping this over, take a look at the motor. It does appear to be brushed, which is fine. Brushed can still be incredibly fun and put out quite a bit of power. There's a front-on view, side view. There's some sharp-looking wheels. There's your nickel metal battery plugs, micro servo over there. Has a little bit of travel, which is good. Shocks are adjustable. I don't believe they are oil-filled, though. They look to be plastic-bodied. This is giving me some big-time flashbacks to what I saw with my LaTrax Rally car. And again, I'm kicking myself a little bit now for getting rid of that machine, but it's cool still to have another rally car to play around with. Now, the difference between that specific rally car and this, and might be apples to oranges comparison here, the tires on this model are they do have tread where the other ones were slick. I could really slide that machine around and use it more as a drifter versus an off-road rally car, where this, I think we can get off-road to a certain degree, depending on how low to the ground our path is and our trail is. But I still think we can have a blast either on smooth pavement or not on smooth pavement. Another item I want to point out about this model is it is waterproof or water resistant, so you should be able to sling it through some wet or damp situations, and then on top of it all, you get the FPV experience. So that's pretty cool. Give you a shot of the front of this vehicle. It does not have a licensed body on it. It's just a standard rally car hatchback design, which I think is pretty cool. I'm digging the digital camo fade that they kind of have on here. That's pretty cool. So that's, again, closer look at the car. Let's roll that off. Take a little bit closer look at the goggles. They're very lightweight once you get the monitor out of them. Again, there's no mechanical latch that you have to flip. You just pull these forward, and then you don't want to smudge the monitor. Put your monitor in place, close the lid, and off you go. There is some kind of an adjustment slider here. I'm guessing that's to pull the image into focus or maybe bring it further or closer to you. I do wear glasses, so I might be playing around with that, if that is in fact what it does. There is an antenna which you screw into the monitor up here to make sure you get the most out of your range. Let's lift that up, give you a shot of the inside. Hey, and you can see me. Howdy, folks. So, your typical FPV headset, and really I think your typical VR headset at this point, I think they all start to look the same. And we'll just talk about the transmitter real quick. 2-channel pistol grip, feels good. I've grown to like this from the BL Monster Truck. It does what it needs to do. You can adjust the throttle trim, you can adjust the steering trim. There's some additional knobs and settings underneath here. Forward, reverse, on your direction for steering and throttle as well. It's a no-frills setup, and it does a good job. So really nothing to complain about on that front. So do look for more videos on this model from this channel, the RC Noob YouTube channel. Um, I'm really excited to see how this stacks up against the Yeti that I have kind of custom fit with FPV gear versus something that's already got an FPV system built in. I will point out that it does have some suspension built into the camera. That's going to be interesting. I don't have that built in to my setup. It is just strictly a 3D printed enclosure that the camera sits in, and that is zip tied to the chassis or to the frame of the chassis. So whatever bumps and bounces the shocks absorb and the chassis absorbs, that's all felt through the camera. So I'm anxious to see how this additional suspension setup on the camera plays out through the goggles and through the monitor. So again, we'll have more running video and more in-depth look on this whole package once I've gotten a chance to get it out and drive it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and like it. If you have not yet subscribed to the RC Noob YouTube channel, please do go ahead and do that. Not only are we talking about this vehicle right now, we're also talking about the Red Cat Racing Everest Gen 7 Sport. It's an entry-level, low-dollar, budget-friendly crawler that I'm just having a blast with. And we're also talking about a new vehicle from New Bright. It's their RC Extreme Frenzy. That's a blast as well. At least it looks like a blast. I have a lunch date with it tomorrow to rip it around and have some fun. So we'll have more on that vehicle as well. So we've got a lot going on the channel. Be sure you're subscribed to not miss anything. So until next time, my name is Tim. This has been smallscalerc.com and our video coverage of the Dromida Rally Car FPV. And I do want to thank Dromida and Hobbico for hooking me up with this review machine. I appreciate all the support that they have given me this year. So until next time, keep those batteries charged, keep your nitro topped off, and keep loving the hobby of RC.